This has got to be my favorite map. It looks cool, there's a variety of enemies, and it has special rules. This is a blown up moon. This is a blown up planet. I have to snag this object here. That's it. That's the whole objective. There's probably a fast way I could manage it, and I'm probably going to try that one in future, but for this one, I'm planning on just wiping everything out. The enemy has a couple of special weapons. A wave of short-lived particles that blast from the planet, and this particle cannon here, which shoots particles in a straight line across the whole map. They're fueled by tankers that collect this ore. Destroy the tankers and they rebuild, but things stall. Lathe the ore and you stop it completely. Both of these weapons are nasty, especially that cannon, so the moon is priority number 2. Priority 1 is secure the fort. Mire and Omni turrets on all these islands, then get a warfleet. Push up to the moon, neutralize defenders, snag energy, Omni storm the moon. I'll now control the whole left side of the map, and from here it's power leapfrog time. The attack's going to be kind of like a flail, except the chain is power and the clubby part on the end is warships. And I'll just wave it around to get me in range of each of these emitters and ship constructors. Once they're all down, I'm going to breach the planet's struct shield here, because that will give me the best energy range, and because I can easily fire at it with this converted emitter. From there, I'm going to Omnistorm the planet. I'm not going to take the whole thing, I'm just going to push up to the objective at that point. By the end, the Omnis will be out of energy range, so Omni reactors are a must. Speaking of that, I'm buying just about everything. The energy production, of course, the mine defenses and the benign emergent to help defend, as well as the Omni stuff to help defend and to help with Omni storming. I'll start with the rock burner to carve a hole for the friendly particle, then convert that to emitter control at least until I have grabbers. Put the amp gem in the HQ. I'm going to snag this energy mine first because he's the one that's going to be under the most fire. Then I'm going to hit this one. Then I'm going to grab the emitter so that island can start providing a wall. Then I'll move up to the last energy node. This will give me the most power and the earliest defenses. I'm ignoring the scrap because the defensive struck upgrade gets my energy mines a lathe, and they'll grab the scrap for me. It just fired the shield. You heard that boing noise, and you can see it hovering around the planet there. It's going to spread out a little bit. It's not very well directed, and it doesn't last very long, so it's really more of a threat when you're assaulting the planet than when you're parking out here. So it defends, it doesn't attack. Inverted. Let's get moving. As soon as I start creating benign particle and miring the island, it's going to provide a giant wall against a lot of that incoming. I'm not especially worried about all that particle that's flying in because everything's got struck or cannons or islands. So at this point I'm going to pull the amp gem out. When it's ready I'm going to stick it in my warship and I'm going to start spending a lot of this spare capital. I've just been warned I got an Omni license. Woo! I want to grab that ship up there, which is a carrier. So I'm going to take the risky move of no, I'm not. I just spotted all that emergent. So we're going to let the Marauder deal with some of that emergent. Then I'm going to take the risky move of bringing the command ship up to grab it. Putting a couple Omnis on this island so that I can do two things. One, rock burner that hole. And two, they can shoot. Whoops, I like to make a straight line, so I minimize the amount of island I'm wasting, because every square I destroy is a little less power. Power's coming in. Speaking of power, I'm getting more of it, so time to keep building ships. How long do I have before I need dischargers while I'm paying attention? 66 seconds and 40 seconds. I might be able to do that in time. Next order of business is going to be to move to take that moon, and to do that I have to get through that flying star of death, which is really, really tough. I'm going to need the entire warfleet to hit it. It's tough, it's got guns, it regenerates, it's like one of my ships, only nastier, so I'm going to try to hit it when that Omni isn't nearby, and I'm going to try to hit it with everything I've got. while we're talking about everything I've got, I think I can successfully lathe that thing now. Dischargers are done. Looks like they're actually sending some particle to that lower one and that upper one. But upper stunner's not firing yet. Back to having lots of cash to build all the expensive stuff. I'm gonna need tankers too, so they'll be the next priority along with the hammer. Right now I'm just trying to get stuff on the ground. Or in the air, however you want to put it. Let's swap from the rock burner to emitter control. Still getting lots of power, so tanker. Stunners. Looks like one to the upper and one to the lower. Or one to the upper and one to the middle. Still getting tons of cash, so more ships. So that cannon over there, you can see it charging. It's almost there. When it charges, it's going to fire that big particle beam of death. And I want to line it up so the particle beam of death hits unimportant stuff, so not command modules, and especially not command modules on my HQ. Now I have a theory that's played out a few times that it tries to hit the most targets in a line, so I just try to make sure my command vessel's not in a straight line with a whole bunch of stuff. Let's try parking it there. And one way to do this is you get a grabber. Since a grabber draws a straight line across the map, you get a grabber and you use it to draw straight lines from that thing, or you take a ruler and put it up against your monitor. But that's a little too fiddly, and like I said, I don't have proof that it tries to hit the most targets, because it's sometimes just fired at like that friendly emitter there, so I'm not sure. That time, fired at, hit two things, maybe three. No, didn't get an Omni. Now my thought is you keep things facing side on like this, because then there's the least chance of it hitting the command core. But as you just noticed with that Marauder, it only damaged the front. It didn't create particles at every space, so maybe keeping them face on towards the particle emitter is actually a better idea. So let's do that. Starting to burn cash. No, we're not. We're still good. So keep producing ships. Like I said, I'm going to need everything to take out that floating space station. Oh, good. The keep them facing it method seems to be working pretty well. I've got just about everything. A couple of lathes because I'm going to need them eventually. Why have I not omnied this island yet? Oh, it's over the island, right? Looks like they're going for the middle and the bottom. Oh, that carrier's eating a ton of energy. Okay, at this point I need to expand. I want to build my destroyer and my Joven so they can fly around in the back and still cover things. But how's this? As soon as that particle cannon fires again, we're moving. There it is. Okay, time to move the war fleet up. Try to keep them just out of range for setup. Hopefully I can do this right. So A, I don't have to keep falling back. And B, that Doppel is not in position to assault me when the time comes. Hell, maybe we should put the C-class. So at this point, I'm going to do something I have never done in one of these before. I'm going to save. Because I just spent a lot of time getting everything set up. I don't want to do it again. So we can go back to this save if this whole assault goes absolutely hideously wrong. And that way I don't have to re-record the first part of this mission like 12 times. Alright, wait till Doppel moves. He's turned away as far as he's going to go. Let's do it. Closer. I don't want to get closer because this thing is murder, but closer. And we hope. Well, that'll tend to cause a problem. But I got it. Massed firepower did it. Okay, with that thing dead, stuff's going to get a whole lot easier, even with the hammer lost. Retarget. The Doppel should be no problem. More of my lathes. Get in there. Need that stuff destroyed. I need it destroyed badly enough that I'm prioritizing discharging them straight in and hoping those enemies will be destroyed by the time I get there. And they are. Get up there. Keep the big guns up front. Keep using the C-Class as a lone defender over there, just to keep an eye on him. Energy, lovely energy. Yikes! That was bad. Dinged up the front only a little, but he took out the whole back. I don't have the power to keep building ships back there. I will soon once the salt is a little run down. Hammer is still under construction back there, so we're using these guys as temporary shields. He needs more cover over there. The C-Class is too beat up to defend itself. And the C-Class is in a really bad way right now. I need to get someone in front of him. That stupid particle cannon. Oh good, that did it. So I need to disable the particle cannon, which means I'm going to need Omnis. And I don't have the cash to rebuild them right now, so we're just lifting off. Leaving a couple there for defense. Everybody else gets over here. And then we're going to Omni-Storm that island. Now that the lathes aren't doing anything over here, we're going to snag those energy emitters. Kind of forgot about the dischargers. That assault went really well. Stuff got beaten up, nothing got destroyed, except the hammer, of course. So I really want that cannon dead. As you guys can see, it's awful. So I really want to take this moon as quickly as I can. To do that, I'm going to have to destroy a lot of this particle that's flying around so I can get some omnis through it. Looks like I've created enough of a hole down here. So let's start with the first wave. Energy is still a huge problem. Hopefully landing these omnis can help with that. So the particle beam just took out my HQ. These omnis should still be fine on their own until the HQ is done. Fortunately, no one's got any guns. Everybody's drained of juice. Charge. I was hoping the omni reactors would be enough. They turned out not to. That was a really inopportune moment for that thing to fire. There's just so many of them coming in. Okay, pause and take stock. I need to get that amp gem again. I need to get some more warships in place. I need to take that island. But to do that, I need to stop the particle. So we're just going to stick a couple ships right in there, right in the face. We're going to use them to make a hole in the enemy particle, and we're going to drive the Omni straight through that hole. He really does not like my lathe. This went way better the last time I tried this. Really, it did. Next thought is to drive a lathe in there and just rock burner my way through the outside islands so I can get a lathe in to take out the center emitter, because he's currently the big problem. Come on, come on. Yes, it looks like a couple of omnis have made landfall. The upper island's the only one I need right now, because that lathe can take out the emitter if I can just keep it occupied. Done. So this moon's going to be a lot less of a problem now. I'm going to leave them all there. Now it's time to start taking this place. I've got to get to these 4 bundles of ore over here. Once I take those, I don't have to worry about the particle beam anymore. While I'm talking about it, is there anything I need to build? There is not. Yes, there is. So I'm making my way kind of around right now. I'm taking out some of the external sections, when really I should just get in there to whatever that is. I never really did figure out what that was. So let's do that. Let's get some of these guys healed up. Send them in and take that out. The amp gem. Where's the marauder? How much longer till the particle cannon fires? It's about to. Good, nothing destroyed. A few things beat up, but nothing destroyed. Center thingy destroyed. Let's see if I can get 2 of those ore piles now. Meanwhile, it's 1 ore pile destroyed. 2 ore piles destroyed. 3 ore piles destroyed. And they drop energy nodes, so that's really going to solve my energy problem. And 4 ore piles destroyed. Excellent. That means I've got this moon, and I don't have to worry about that particle cannon anymore. I'm moving these guys around a little bit so I can actually lathe those energy mines. I've learned my lesson on that one. I know I said he wasn't going to fire again, but he had ore from the previous shipment. So at this point we begin the assault on the planet. I'm going to start my chain up here, and then work my way down, because then by the time I've done that, I'll be here where I've got my benign particle to help me punch a hole. I'm going to have to deal with this big pile here, so let's get rolling. And you notice how much better my energy is doing now that I've taken all the land on this moon, but especially 3 not too bad energy producers, which means I can start doing all those things I wanted to do. Hey, look, a destroyer. Hey, look, a grabber. Keep moving up. I'm not just going to rush everything straight up. I'm going to move a little bit slowly. What? I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. I didn't think there was quite enough enemy ships to do that, so... Oh well. Something dumb happened. Because it was all my fault. Whatever it was all my fault. But let's start the leapfrog. Supply ships. Everybody over there. I'm going to leave 1 ship here. We'll leave the Marauder here and hope it's enough. And we'll replace all those ships I lost because I wasn't paying attention. Set up the formation. know I'm strafing him, but I'm not in a big hurry, and I don't want to put his lightly armored sides towards enemy. I'm going to leave that here for that exact reason, because they're going to fire on energy mines and things like that. More ships. Can I put him in the hole? I can. I don't need to, but I can. Maybe he got rammed by a supply ship? It did do a lot of damage to the hammer there. There's the edge of my range. C-class is good to go. I might trade him out for the Marauder. You're not going to get me quite enough range, so we will be moving you up.
21 gigawatts!
Once I deal with some of that particle, we're going to push in for the final hit. Looks like I've got more stuff to go down south here. Duh, because that's where all the other emitters are. Yeah, I saw that coming. Pretty bad over here. So we're going to fall back immediately. Try not to get him rammed. Good. Let's take out that ship producer. Most of the particle is coming from the south at this point, so that's the direction I'm going to keep the warships facing. I don't have to worry about the ship producer firing particles at me, so I don't necessarily have to hammer fort it. Do have to defend my lathes, but I don't have to hammer fort it.
21 gigawatts!
I'm going to now use the lathes to make a little bit of a hole, the lathes and the hammer. Trying to be very careful not to let the struck hit the soft underbelly. There. Oh, hi. While he's busy up there, let's start looking at how we're going to handle this next emitter. Where is he? He's right there. Scoot up a little bit. Retarget my benign emergent. Cool. Destroyed, so we can retarget. Spin around, and we'll move the flail.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Getting a little stupid in my placement, but I think there's not enough particle out there to make it a huge problem. Energy range will let me drive the hammer in there, punch a hole and take out that thing. Just getting fiddly to make sure only the armor gets hit on the hammer. He can take one emergent, right? Okay, keep moving the flail. At this point I am moving a little aggressively. I'm leaving that lathe to kind of fend for himself. He's got a few guns to cover him, but not a lot. One of the problems with the C-Class is, it's a great ship, it's got a lot of guns, it's got that shield, which is awesome, but its command module's right up in the front, which means if anything makes it through that shield, it's going to go straight into the command module. Well, if anything makes it through the shield, first it's going to destroy the shield, then it's going to destroy the command module. So this is looking like it's getting a little bad up here, so let's get a little help. Got an amp gem out here for a reason. Got a discharger out here for a reason too. And, you know, I'll probably have this thing dealt with by the time the benign particle gets here, but you never know. Okay. Hammer's looking like it's in fairly good shape. Let's see if we can push up just a little. And now we want the lathes in there. I wonder if that stops him from regenerating. If so, this is about to be a problem. It does not seem to stop him from regenerating, although his particle beams are not firing is a problem. Come on, Lathe. You can do it. Aster should have the amp gem, really. Cool, that emitter's down. That just leaves me that emitter there. Who's going to get the full brunt of the benign emitter? And 2 ship producers. So at this point, we're going to move the whole flail. Keep pausing and unpausing just to see who's moving and who's not. Lets me know which ships I should be spawning to. Let's take out the emitter first. He's actually going to be a problem versus the supply vessels who aren't really. Almost ready for the Omni Assault. So let's get these guys moving. Bring in everyone. This is looking fairly well suppressed. I bet I can just shove right in there. He said right before destroying his entire fleet. Alright, so external emitters destroyed. Now it's time to begin the assault. Let's use the hammer to clear a little bit of a path here. Bring the lathes up a little bit to clear some more of this struck while I wait for the struck on the side to clear so that I can hit the ship producer. Enough. I want to make a big enough hole to fly the Omnis through. That's only a little struck, he can take it. Hammer, get down here. Attack with your face. I love the hammer. At this point, my ships are going to be doing very little of the work. I'm going to keep clearing this struck so I can get them into support, but it's pretty much all Omnis from here on out. The stunners are starting to become a nuisance. I want him to clear out the last of that struck that I can't get with the hammer. No, that struck over there. Omni time. I can't fly Omnis over struck. They explode. And I can't fly the hammer in there because there's little bits of land in the way. With 2 grabbers, I don't really need the emitter control, so let's take that out. Let's put it in move and build speed increase. And also in you. Because your missiles are going to do a lot for covering against emergent. Emergent's just going to murder Omnis. Alright, let's do this. So much stuff in there at the moment that I can't get a good handle on where the waypoint them, so they go around the struck. Send 3 more in there. They should just be able to clear that mire. There's no particle producers anymore, so they should be able to clear that mire fairly easily without dying. And at this point, it's just a land push. I can't produce them outside of the energy range, so everything I'm going to produce has to be produced out here and then push in. But I can keep moving them outside of energy range. Do we dare get super aggressive? We do not. Ooh, can I use the lathe to destroy that, whatever that is? These three are doing fine. Push up. I feel like I'm short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am short. Where are the last of the Omnis? There's one. And there's one. He's gonna die. Take that out, whatever that is. I don't need you up north. It's the emergent. Part of the reason for miring more of this land and not just going straight for the object there is all the emergent the mired land is producing. And that emergent is going to destroy my Omnis. I could just rock burner my way through, get ships in there and everything. That's one way to do it, but I have the feeling this will be faster. Rock burning takes a while. So does this, mind you, but rock burnering would take longer, and then fiddling the ships into place, yeah. At this point, I think I can do this with what I got. Let's move a little closer first. Wow, that particle cannon was almost charged. That was good timing. This should do it. I might lose a few of those Omnis, mind you, but that's what Omnis are for. That many Omnis firing on it, that thing goes away fast. So the plan worked out great. Particle cannon was nasty, as expected. It bogged me down a little bit, but I kept moving. The flail worked out great, I just kept the ships moving. And I did a pretty good job with formations on this one, keeping the warships and the guns to the front. Made a couple small mistakes, especially where the supply vessels were concerned. I keep forgetting that they ram pretty hard. I hope you guys can see why this is one of my favorite maps. There's just a lot of tactical concerns involved. So it gives you more objectives than just take out every emitter. It's also a little different once you get to both the moon and the planet. You can't rely on your conventional tactics of ship assault or even Omni assault because of how broken up they are. The Omni assault just works that much differently.